Okay, we're gonna do that.
Vamos. No party.
May 14th.
That's pies, right?
Yeah.
Louis Pies. Is Louis Pies here?
It wasn't. It's not working.
Louis Pies?
The week of May 7th.
Yard of the month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Tommy, by the second week in May.
You ready? Call the vote.
Mayor Bain,
I'm here.
Vice Mayor Zapata,
Here.
Councilman Best,
Present.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Here.
Councilman Petrolando.
Here.
Pastor, you want to come up and say the prayer for us? Am I going out of order? No.
No, sir.
Pastor Ginger?
Let us pray. Oh Lord, we are grateful to you for your loving kindness and your tender mercies towards us. And Lord, we want to remember the life and the legacy for Marianne Goodlett Taylor. Thank you, Lord, for giving her to us. And we pray comfort to the family now. Surround them by your love. We ask also a blessing upon this meeting on tonight, that you would give us wisdom and discernment and continue to protect our community and help us to be faithful citizens to your glory and to your praise. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Say the pledge. I pledge allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
You can't just stop. You can't stop the Pledge of Allegiance.
Come on up here. I never did. We could have done it twice. Oh, I'm sorry, you girls. I'm sorry. Come up close to me. Come close to me. All right. Where are you all from? You're from All Angels. What grades are you from? Third grade? First, third, first, everything? All right. My apologies. Now you can, fourth. Okay. You can start us now, okay? Go ahead. You start.
The real one. The other one's
Yes,
practice.
Deal here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wait.
Stay here. Stay there.
Thank you.
Hoodies. Hopefully.
I don't know. I don't know how much trouble I'm going to get for stopping that, but is this working?
Yes.
Is it working?
No.
Okay. We have something for you all. A little pin for the pledge. They're brand new. You're going to be the first to have it. I want you to say your name and grade.
Luciana,
What grade?
fourth grade.
There you go.
There was one for you.
Miranda,
What's sweet is?
third grade.
Third grade. There you go.
Audrey, third grade.
Audrey, third grade. How you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Aliyah, first grade.
Idea first grade. You're tall for first grade, aren't you? Huh? Yeah.
Zadie, fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Nanami, fourth grade.
Nami, first grade. From the All Angels Academy, we want to thank them for coming up and saying the Pledge of Allegiance for us. My apologies. The parents want to take a picture? Come up and take a picture. Hey, Willie, which one's your daughter? These two?
These two are the twins.
These two girls will eat you out of house and home. Just like their mother. Yeah, I was at a function. Thank you.
That was cute.
Lourdes Taveras. Did I say it right? Oh, now I can hear myself. Come on up. Good for you here. Yeah, you know, if you walked around like that, you'd have been a lot better. You'd have been more welcomed in the houses at Cocoa Place, let me tell you. These are the uniforms we need for her, right?
Oh, he didn't
she
say that,
agrees.
no.
Now she's
No,
gone.
he didn't say that.
This is a certification of appreciation.
You wanna say something?
Lourdes
Taveras.
Taveras, science officer, okay? It's recognition of 17 years of dedicated service to the City of Miami Springs Building and Compliance Department. We're presenting this to her today, the 23rd day of April 2018. And here, congratulations, and for your retirement.
One more thing from the I don't know why when people retire they give them clocks, because I know you're not going to be watching the clock anymore. But I know. I want to thank Lourdes, 17 years in the city. She has a tough job. She's not the most popular person in town sometimes, but she has served the city with dedication and professionalism for 17 years, and we're going to miss her for that. And we're going to present you with this clock. So that, and it's set for 10 in the morning. That's what time you're going to be getting up from now on.
Yeah, I want you to say something about. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, so you take a picture with them and introduce them. I want you to tell them how that the first year in 2004, when I was mayor, how you came to my house and cited me for my awnings on the west side of the house. That the mayor doesn't get any from her. There's nobody that she's very fair.
My son, my daughter,
Come on up.
my best friend, please come up, and my best friend over there too. I just want to say thank you first to God for giving me the privilege to serve the city. I've been in the city since 1996. I fell in love with Miami Springs in 1980, and God gave me the privilege to have my children grow up here. My grandchildren are growing up here. Have a bunch of cousins that live here and have their children growing up here. It's a beautiful city. Everybody, I've been tough, especially the mayor. But fair. I just want the city to continue being safe and beautiful as it is. Mostly safe because we have our children up there.
Sure.
You know, and the police department we have now, it's amazing. You know, the public works, the officials. It's nice to see that our kids can still ride their bikes here. And that's the one thing that when me and my husband were looking for houses, we wanted that. And I would hope that we continue to keep. Thank you very much, William. I'm going to miss your coffee.
Oh.
And we've had some tough times, but we've had some very good times and some sad times that we shared together. Tammy knows we've been here for a while. And, you know, you'll be seeing me around.
Okay.
You know I live here.
Good.
Thank you.
You got it. What's your plans? What's your plans for what do you,
Plans?
yeah, what's your plans for retirement?
Travel, paint, do whatever I feel like it. I don't have to work.
What address do you live at? No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Is Lewis here, Pius?
Yes.
Come on up and get your certificate of recognition. How are you? Hi. Oh wait, I gotta read it first. All right, it's a recognition to Louis Pius. That's how you say it, right? 99 North Troy Point, Sienna Boulevard, for their home business being designated as Yard of the Month, May 2018. Presented this day, 23rd of April 2018. Congratulations.
Farm stores. Oh, you're the farm store. Recognize you. Yes, I didn't recognize you.
Thank you so
Good,
much.
you have the floor.
Thank you so much. And this,
Thank you, Maria.
be part of this beautiful city, and we are congrats to the city, and the city hall is so beautiful, and we have a lot of support for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for keeping us beautiful. Thank you.
Congratulations. Yep.
Felicidades. Here we go.
We had another item to be presented today by Councilman Best's daughter. We're going to postpone that till the next council meeting. Okay, so.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have forum, open forum. We have Paul Atkinson. You have the floor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There's a couple issues on my mind tonight. First off, the safety of the city is paramount. I think we all have noticed at one time or another the influx of speeding drivers, reckless drivers, drivers that seem to enjoy harassing other drivers. A lot of people we've talked to have experienced difficulties. A lot of people have tried calling the police station, and there's nobody that can take action on the situation at the time it's needed. We seem to have a minimal officer staff available during rush hours, during peak hours when we need it. Miami Springs has always been a very quiet town, very peaceful. You'd rarely see any speeders out here. You'd rarely see any traffic problems or any accidents. But now we're seeing a lot more of that. I don't know if it's a budget problem. I don't know if it's a matter of inexperienced officers on the streets and on patrol. I don't know what the problem is, but it really needs to be addressed before somebody or somebody's little child gets hurt, maimed, or killed.
Thank you.
And there's also another issue as well, if I may.
Okay.
Maria and I have been talking about opening up the Miami River for canoers, kayakers, and stand-up paddleboarders. There's been a lot of research on her part that she's done on this, which is incredible, the aspect she's thought of on this. Basically, if we do a little bit of work at the old boat ramp down across from the dog park, that would give the people that use the area ample room to park, safe spaces to launch. With minimal investments, we could build like a floating dock or something where canoers and kayakers could pull out of the river, like maybe through the downtown section where they could enjoy lunch, get a bite to eat, some drinks, maybe a couple of chicky hooks along the canal to get out of the sun or the rain for a while. We have a beautiful community here. I think it would be a big draw to the community, to the business. It would bring in a lot of great new people, possible income for real estate, for the businesses, and I would like to see it happen.
Thank you.
That's all, sir. Ladies.
Maria Forts? Yes. You got the floor. Forts, right? You can take it out there if you want to. There you go.
Hello? Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
Hello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Maria Font, and together with my friend and neighbor, Jen Gonzalez, we just wanted to make you aware in the city that we have entered the Miami Foundation's Public Space Challenge. And it's exciting because we're applying for a grant, should we win, of course, And our idea is to add pedestrian crosswalks to Circle Park. We live here, we love it here, it's a beautiful green space, and the only way to access it is if you jaywalk, pretty much. I see people in there all the time, and they just kind of cross at their own peril, and it'd be great to connect all of our green spaces. So our proposal to this foundation to win this grant, which would not come out of the citizens' pockets, but we would get funding for this, is to add 1, 2 crosswalks to Circle Park, and possibly add a butterfly garden there with natives, Florida native plants that would require no care or very little care. And it's a space that I think, could benefit from it. There's local businesses, you can grab some food, take it over. There's already benches there, but no safe way to actually access the park. And it's our city center. It's, a really important part of the Springs, and that's kind of it. So we do not know if we're finalists in this yet until May, but we have a really good backing. We've gotten a lot of press on this project, and we're very excited. We'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Just wanted to make the city aware.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. James, I can't see how you wrote your last. Patterson?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. James Patterson, live at 175 Sunset Way. I'm here in regard to the drivers here in Miami Springs. I bought a road bike, 2000. It's an expensive road bike. That's my only form of transportation. Got all these. I bought the police department on this report too, and these people are out of control in Miami Springs. I feel safer in Hialeah, believe it or not, riding a bike than here right now. I stay off the bike path because that's for the parents and the kids. I stay off that bike path on Westward. But I would say the worst road for speeding is Westward Drive. It's out of control. The worst speeders are FedEx, Metro Day Police, and UPS. Those 3 right there. FedEx and UPS, I see it every day on my bike. They're not doing those 30 miles an hour. I see the Metro Day police officers on the stop sign. I see this because I see it when I ride my bike. I've lived in this town since 1974, and I just feel, someone was mentioning to me, oh, they should close the bridge here in Miami Springs to keep out all that's not the answer. You close all the bridges in Miami Springs, all the businesses will go out of business. That's not the answer. Someone was telling me, oh, they should keep all the outsiders out of Miami Springs. No, that's not the answer. You need people to come into Miami Springs. You want people coming into this town to spend their money in these new establishments here in Miami Springs. And basically what I got to say, because I've been hit. Oh, and another thing. The people here, a lot of people, when they're driving, when people come up to the stop sign, you got the line there on the road, like on Westward Drive, all the little cross streets up on Westward Drive between Cardinal and Hammond. Got the people coming off the side streets that are not stopping at those stop signs. Thank God there hasn't been any serious accidents in this town. I mean, like I said, I've been in this town since 1974, but I see it, the people on the side streets, they're not paying attention to the motorists going down Western Drive. You got elderly, that's the #1 residents in this town. The elderly people are #1, and the children. You got, like I said, I'm surprised there hasn't been more accidents with vehicles. I saw on Facebook there was a accident, a car turned over, and everyone's saying, "Oh, he was going to," I don't know, whatever, you know. But it was an accident, and I never seen a car with laying on his roof, you know. How did that happen? So, you know. But that's basically all I got to say. Is like, the people would. I do notice lately that they are driving slow, so obviously the more people, the police are after them more, and people are taking heed to social media, because I'm on it hot and heavy. and so I have seen an improvement. I will say that I have seen an improvement, but I will say the worst is FedEx and UPS.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have Juan Cruz. She just came in. Yeah, but she didn't want to do it next meeting. Sure.
Okay.
Good evening. Juan Cruz, 911 Swan. I'm in agreement with them. The other day I was going home on Westward. I put my cruise control on 30 miles an hour. We have kids here. All due respect, sir. Our cops had a bad reputation before. People were afraid of coming in here and speed and break the law. I don't see them. I don't see that happening again. We need to get teeth back on them. And if we give them tickets, don't we get some money from that?
Yes.
For the city? Please. The other day I'm going home from the circle. Guy on an Xfinity, a black Xfinity, passes me. I slammed on the brakes. I waved him down. I flipped him a bird. And he went by the screamer at 54 miles an hour. We have kids here. Okay? We have kids. You know, I moved in here in 97. I see this as a little piece of heaven. I got to this country in 71 when kids used to ride bicycles on the streets. That's vanished, except for here. We're going to have a tragedy. That's the only way I see it. The circle, getting out of here to go to Hialeah, I have to go there, unfortunately, many times. One of these days, I'm going to end up in a hospital because it's pathetic. It's truly pathetic. We need to get cops over there, you know. And if we get revenue from the tickets, you know what? Put teeth back on the cops. Let them get their reputation back. When we had Danny on Motors, let them get their reputation back. We can't go nowhere here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I want to thank all the people that took the time to come up and talk tonight. Thank you. That ends open forum.
Thank you. Somebody else.
Oh, you want to talk? Well, you could. I know you didn't, but you still can go ahead and talk.
D. Hernandez. I live at 130 Flagler Drive. And I'm going to have to agree with all the rest of the two gentlemen here about the speeding. I've called the police. I am a former Miami-Dade police officer for 30 years. I'm still with them as a reservist. And I can understand and sympathize with them about cops speeding. You know, I mean, I'm one of the very few that didn't speed. Always maintained the limit. Okay, I could honestly say that. But cops are notorious for speeding. That is true. What the gentleman was saying. Not all, you know, or those are the exception. My complaint is, for the past 2 years, I've been calling the police department for speeding on Flagler Street, from Hammond all the way down to the canal. They've done studies, and I got all the records here, the studies that they've done, and I thank Sergeant Castillo for coming out. Came out and spoke to me, and he set up a speeding trap. And according to the records, it was very few vehicles that were speeding. But as that always happens, you know, when it's not there, that's when they speed.
Yeah.
There's over 15, maybe 17 kids on that block, little small children. As old as I am, I have a little 6-year-old. Okay. With me, I have a niece and a nephew that live with us. Right next to us, there's some twins. They were 4 years old. My mom passed away in November. She used to visit the neighbors across the street. I wouldn't let her because the cars would come so fast. It was incredible. I took a petition around the block, and I have approximately 20 signatures that the people are fed up. I know one of my neighbors on Facebook, she saw that somebody had gone on there because I'm responsible for putting those signs, those neon signs, and the other one, the red one, that drive like your children live here on this block. You know, I've done my part, and a lot of the neighbors have complained to me because I was a former cop, and I'm still with them, like I said, and they're saying no one's doing anything. And let me tell you, I believe that the cops here, the police officers, are doing a great job, and I know they can't be everywhere, but something has to be done there before something does happen. And that's my concern.
You got it.
I don't know if I can leave
You
this
can
in
send them,
record.
give them to the clerk.
Okay.
So we can all take a look at them.
Thank you, Mr.
To make copies. Thank you. Thanks for coming. That's an open forum. That's it. I see that Bobby's daughter's here, but it is postponed.
That's the other one.
Oh, see.
That's the other one.
I'm always getting misinformation from people up here.
I got you.
Should ask me?
I'm only trying to.
What, Jamie tell you that, Mayor?
No, no, not
No.
Jamie. I know.
Oh, Mara did?
That's not Emma.
Paul,
That
you,
is Emma.
you
No, no, I
signed
said
on the
that-
yellow
that's
one.
Emma.
You
That's
just,
not the one that
you, you're okay though. That was it for tonight. Okay. Okay. Thank you for all for coming. Your concerns. We go to approval of the council meetings for April 9, 2018, regular council meeting.
Through the chair, motion to move.
Second.
Call the vote.
Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bang?
Yes, we have reports from boards and commissions. There's none. We go on to the second reading of an ordinance.
It's an ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amending Chapter 54 Tree Protection Program of the city's Code of Ordinances to regulate the planting and maintenance of trees in close proximity to overhead utility lines, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. I open up to anybody who wishes to speak on this item, except for you. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Neri Owens, Corridon Drive. This is an excellent ordinance. I never give an A or an A+. She did a job that's A+ along with Mr. Nash. Thank you for the ordinance.
Thank you. You could come up anytime. If if I was known that was good, I'd have walked you to the podium. Anybody else wish to speak on the item? Okay, I close the public hearing and I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to move on this item.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
After this word from...
Councilman, I can ask it. I'll ask Vice Mayor Zapata.
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanga.
Yes.
Councilman Best.
Aye.
Councilwoman Maria Mitchell.
Yes.
And me, Mayor Bain. Yes.
5-0.
5-0.
What did I miss?
I went in wrong order.
8A.
Okay.
Who's counting?
It passed. 5-0.
Put in the minutes that I called the vote because you weren't here.
No, you don't have to put that in the minutes.
Erica, put on the minutes, you
No.
missed it, that we have Neri's blessing
Yes.
on this.
Yeah, also.
I want that in bold
Yes.
letters too. we go to old business. We have none. 11A, new business, a resolution.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving a professional services agreement with Brenda Knight, a licensed franchisee of Jazzercise, Inc., providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date. Jazzercise is a very popular program in Miami Springs that provides our community with an opportunity for fitness and health. Jazzercise will be utilizing the multi-purpose room on the first floor of the community center on Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This agreement should be for a period of 1 year, beginning on April 1st, 2018, and ending on March 31st, 2019. The city may renew the agreement for up to 2 additional 1-year terms. Brenda and Tatiana Knight and the Jazzercise coaches do an excellent job of providing our community with a professional program. They also have a great working relationship with the Recreation Department, and it is recommended that we continue to work together with Jazzercise, Inc. by approving the attached agreement. This is a memo from Omar addressed to myself through council, and Omar's here if you have any questions on this.
Mayor, I have a question. Omar. Mr. Luna, can you step up?
Hello.
Hello.
Questions?
Yes. Just kidding. Has anyone inquired about those times and dates?
Yes.
So other people have inquired?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Are there serious inquiries?
Well, I would assume that if someone calls and they're asking for the space, it's something that at least is worth listening to or serious. But when we have an agreement with Jazzercise like we do, then I tell them that we have an agreement, and they usually say, okay, do you have any other times available? I tell them what we have, and whether it works for them or not is up to their decision. But we haven't had, I couldn't tell you how serious they are. They inquire, I tell them the information that's in front of me, which is accurate, and that's it. I mean, there's not much, but people do inquire about the space. Maybe 4 or 5 times a year we get different inquiries about it, whether it's Zumba or someone trying to do a yoga program or dance or cheer. Yeah, there's several inquiries.
Okay. If I might ask, next time, can you maybe take some information down, just to have it?
Sure. I mean, we have the information. If like sometimes I get the information from the people and say that if we don't have an agreement or Jazzercise was to back out, I would call them. But the reality is that they're looking to put their business or their program somewhere, so they're moving. They're either called Doral or other cities or even, other locations. But the reality is that, yeah, some people do inquire. That's your question, yeah. And that's not a problem. I got to get information from them. They inquire.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
And for the record, they pay for that space.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, Jazzercise pays for that space.
I understand. That's why I'm asking. So if somebody is willing to pay substantial more, maybe we want to consider the other business.
Through the chair, I kind of misconstrued your question maybe to Omar. I thought maybe you were asking that because you were suggesting that other people might have applied for it and they're getting the nod and nobody else, and not someone else. Is that?
No, that one, because I've asked this question in the past.
Right. I know.
And the answer has always been no. So I was surprised, but I needed to ask the question again because I've asked it every time this comes up.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when he said yes this time. So
gotcha.
It took me by surprise, to be honest with you, because I've asked it so many times, and the answer has always been no.
Mayor?
Sure.
I just wanted to say that Brenda Knight and her Jazzercise and her daughter have been a constant in our community, promoting fitness, health and fitness in a fun way for as long as I've lived here, which has been over 30 years. So she does a great job, and everyone is always welcome. She's always, she remembers names, she recognizes people, and just really, really encourages our community. I think probably every woman in Miami Springs has done some Jazzercise with her throughout the years. So they're a great resource
the
to
program,
promote health in our
the
in our
program
community.
is run very well. There are no complaints from the city side as far as whether they don't maintain things or they're not there. The program is very smooth. In the 8 years I've been here, it's probably the least of my headaches, to be honest with you. Like, it's out of mind, out of sight. It only really becomes not even an issue, but when we have to do the contract. That's how good the program is. So, but yeah, people do inquire the facility all the time. I mean, for numerous things, but for the space, there have been some inquiries this year, yes.
Right.
Okay.
If I may add to that, Mayor, I want to echo what Maria has said. She's been here for a very, very long time. I think that there are students that go to her now whose mothers went to them. And it's a very sound program, and there are men also sometimes who go to that. And I'd like to applaud the city for taking into consideration someone from our own community who's doing such an excellent job as Brenda Knight, and not considering, questioning and having someone else come in that we don't even know what kind of a job they would do. So I applaud the city for that. I'm all for it. And I'd like to make a motion if it's time to do that, unless someone else wants to speak, that we accept Resolution 11A as read.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Bay?
Yes. We go to, thank you, Omar.
Thank you, Omar.
11B.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, co-designating the portion of Shadow Way between Payne Drive and Westwood Drive as Mary Ann Goodlett Taylor Way, providing for authorization and providing for an effective date.
Entertain a motion.
Motion to move with discussion at the end.
Second.
Discussion.
Through the chair, I'd like to applaud Councilman Petrolanda for championing this issue at the last meeting, and I think he even touched on it at the meeting before that, a suggestion for that, and hats off to him.
Thank you, Councilman Best.
Anything else? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to a resolution,
This is a re-
11C.
Okay. Mayor and Council, this is a resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, calling for a special election on November 6, 2018 for the purpose of submitting to the city's electorate a ballot question regarding annexation of unincorporated property contiguous to the City of Miami Springs, providing for the city clerk to utilize the services of Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections for the special election, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Council has been discussed in shade sessions as well as in council meetings. This is in furtherance of our efforts to moot out part of the, I would say, regular attacks that we've been receiving over the last several years regarding our annexation applications. That there's something wrong, even though we say that our annexation application is fine as is. This allows us to moot out the argument and avoid ongoing litigation. This calls for the election as was stated, and also specifies the ballot question, which I'll go ahead and read also. So the title is Annexation of Unincorporated Business Area Contiguous to City of Miami Springs, and the question reads as follows. Shall the City of Miami Springs annex the unincorporated business area generally bounded by Northwest 36th Street on the south, Northwest 74th Street on the north, the service road parallel to the Palmetto Expressway on the west, and Ludlam Drive on the east, excluding the Florida East Coast Railway Terminal, recognizing that the area is subject to potential modifications and final approval by Miami-Dade County. As you can see, compared to, or as you may recall from prior language, this gives the area generally, also identifies that the terminal ordinance that clearly says we're not going to be annexing that, addresses that issue. It also recognizes the fact that ultimately these applications are subject to modification by Miami-Dade County. And since our charter is not entirely clear what authorization means, part of the attack that's been levied on the city is that if there's any modification to the boundary, if it's too exact, that means that it's got to put out for referendum again, which obviously we contest, but we believe that this language inoculates us. So if this passes, that effectively this gives general parameters as would any other ballot measure that sort of for a bond or anything else that has general language with specifics to follow in the enabling legislation. The enabling legislation being this ordinance, which has legislative intent as well as references the application. So happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, with this will obviously authorize us to move forward with the election. We will also be providing this to our litigation counterparts in both annexation lawsuits. We have filed motions to stay in both of those cases. We're getting pushback, so we'll have special set hearings coming up on them. But as I mentioned, we're hopeful that this will address part of the issue, and then we'll just have to eventually litigate the contiguity argument that has been waged on us. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
What this does is gives a little latitude for anything that might happen in between now if the county ever comes forward and votes on it.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, if Miami-Dade County finds, wants to jog the boundary a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit to north or south, we have that latitude built into that. Even though it'd be my argument, our argument that the authorization that we previously had identified an area.
Yeah.
And so subject to, and that annexation was always known to be subject to Miami-Dade County's approval sequence. So I would argue that our measure is just fine, but this I think goes even further than that, and definitively takes care of it.
Okay, entertain a motion.
Motion to move the item, Mayor, with discussion.
I need a second.
Second.
Discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank the administration, particularly under the guidance of Dan Espino and his law group, for the advice offering this to be taken up tonight. I think it's a very important action, and I think it's very important that we take it at this time. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, anything else?
Mayor, I just wanted to say that I agree with Councilman Best, and I think everyone up here on the dais. It's extremely important that we go forward with this vote. A lot of families, new families to Miami Springs, did not get to vote on this in the past. And so now we're offering the opportunity to hear what the residents want and go forward if that's what they want. So I'm very glad that we're doing this. Thank you.
Anything else? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. We go to approve the free movie night and miscellaneous costs.
This is a memo from Erica Gonzalez, our city clerk. Commissioner Rebecca Sosa and State Representative Marian Avila would like to host a movie night on Friday, May 4th, to be held on Curtis Parkway, just south of the Circle. The movie provided will be Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh,
The
wait,
su-
before you keep going, that won't be the movie.
No?
No, there was a complication with copyrights with that movie. I was told today, so I don't know. They're still going to do it, but I don't know what movie it's going to be.
Okay.
So I don't want.
Excuse me, Mayor Alicia Araya from Representative Avila's
Oh,
office is here.
come on.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Unfortunately, I fought very hard for Star Wars on May the 4th, and the licensing company came back on Friday. So we switched it a little bit family-oriented, Coco, because of May the Cinco de Mayo. So we're going to do that instead for the kids. The commissioner is going to provide the screen with the Miami-Dade County Parks and the movie. We're going to purchase popcorn free for the kids and cotton candy, and then you guys will provide the location and everything else. As far as the advertising, we have something in like an event on Facebook with the food trucks, and we're going to share it as much as possible. So I don't know if you guys want to help cut some costs there. But yeah, so I literally got the news, and I'm very heartbroken because I'm a big Star Wars fan. So.
How about
Yeah.
How about I was talking about this? How about the movie? Since you were going into the Star Wars thing, is no, there's a movie. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. Who said that out there? That with Groot. And I'm wondering, since you had the theme of that one, if
we can ask that
if
they
you-
literally changed it. I don't know if there's a charge for them to. It is available, I believe.
you think that one's because that at the end
It
when
was
it's
between
Michael
that
Jackson
and
song.
Jumanji, but then we kind of thought Jumanji has some parts that are a little bit inappropriate, even though it's PG-13. I can ask and find out. There's also Thor, that's available, the new one, the third one, and then if
I was
we
just
would-
thinking you were going in the theme of
I know,
outer
I know.
space, and now
Ah.
you're going to Coco.
I'm
And
heartbroken.
the
You
first
have
thing
no
I
idea.
thought was Ice-T's wife. I didn't think Coco.
Well, we did it because of Cinco de Mayo, and we thought that the kids. It's a great movie. It's a great movie for the kids. They'll love it. But I can ask if you want.
See. Okay.
I have one question with this. You said you're going to invite food trucks.
Yes, we are working with former Mayor Xavier Garcia, and I believe with Beast Burger. I forgot his name, and he's coordinating, I believe, with the city clerk, and we've been in discussion, so they're coming as well. I bought a flyer. I just have to get it updated because I was waiting to get the confirmation. So yeah, they're gonna be here, and then they'll be here around 5 o'clock, and the movie will start at sundown.
Okay, and I would just like to ask if we could extend an invitation to our local businesses who may want to
Oh, of course,
participate.
of course,
It
the
would
more
be
the
great
merrier.
for them to be able to maybe set up,
As long as
food
it's
to
okay with
sell.
the city, I'm on board.
To promote those businesses
Definitely,
too.
definitely.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. So we're here to go ahead and say if we want to go ahead and pick up the miscellaneous costs, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's about $1,500, and what I'm proposing is that you have the money available in your circle events budget, in council circle events budget, and we've done it in the past. So.
Sure. Will this, through the chair, will this necessitate closing one of the lanes on the
No,
circle?
no,
It will
no.
not.
This will be
You
down
can do it
by
over on the
the
other side.
Curtis.
Okay.
On the other side of the memorial.
Gotcha.
Motion to move 11.
Second.
C.
Call the vote.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Bass?
Aye.
Councilman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. We go on to the ramp, the boat ramp, 12A.
Yes, this is a request by Councilwoman Mitchell to discuss the beautification of the boat ramp at the canal by the dog park area and providing accessibility for recreational users, kayaks, paddle boards, etc., not for vehicle launching of boats.
Mayor, if I may, and thank you, Mr. Atkinson, for speaking about this. I know you're an avid canoer. Is it kayaker or canoe? Oh my goodness.
I can't believe you remember that.
Mayor, you more than anyone probably here in Miami Spring are an avid outdoorsman, and you know the importance. We've discussed it numerous times about the importance of promoting the beauty of Florida wildlife, of enjoying our outdoors, and as the mayor has told me numerous times, no one protects our environment more than outdoor sportsmen, people that appreciate our environment and appreciate all of our recreational resources. So I know that this is not a new issue. I believe this has come up in the past in the council. So I think where it's different now is that in the past we were looking at, or the council was looking at opening that boat ramp for vehicles and trailers to access it. South Florida Water Management is the one, the government organization that is in charge of that canal. And I've spoken with their lead person on this, and they've told me that they consider that a recreational waterway. They consider the Miami Canal recreational waterway available to us. The only thing that they do not want is for vehicles to use trailers to access the canal, because the way that ramp is designed right now, it's very deep. The slope is quite high, and so it's possible that trailers could get stuck there. Other than that, they advise that they can give us a permit. We can apply, the city, should we vote to do so, can apply for a permit. It's a very, from what I've been told, it's a very simple process to apply for a beautification permit for that area, to make it just more accessible, more enjoyable, let people know that it's available for canoeing and kayaking. I know the Boy Scouts and several people during River Cities were using the river and enjoying it, and it would be great if you know, the families that live here in the Springs realize that, you know, if they have a little kayak or canoe, they can put it on the water there. They don't have to drive all the way to, you know, Alita State Park or something to enjoy the recreational waterways around us. So with that, I would like to ask that we direct our, I guess it would be a motion to direct the city manager to pursue a permit from South Florida Water Management for beautification of that area.
I second that.
For discussion.
Go ahead.
To the chair. Councilwoman Mitchell is correct. This has come in front of us before, and I think you hit the nail on the head as far as exactly why it was trumped before, if you will, for lack of a better term. And it had to do with South Florida Water Management, and it had to do with boats going in and people, and without that piece of it, it would seem to me that it would be totally reasonable that something like this would, and I don't believe it's been approached like this in this fashion in the past, and I think I'd be in favor of it for that reason.
Well, we went through this.
Yeah, we did.
You know, and it's fine. I would put a little caveat in besides the paddle boarders and the kayaks and the canoes. I would request that possibly if they can use electric motors, not motor. I know that motors
not fossil fuel.
Huh?
Not fossil fuel. Electric.
No,
motor.
they don't want.
Right.
From what my understanding is, they don't want any speed going down there.
Right.
You know, a trolling motor maybe goes 5 miles an hour at tops.
Yeah.
But it'll give you more maneuverability for some of the people that might want to fish and so on. But maybe request that as on top of this. I know the biggest issue when we did this before was liability issues,
Yes.
and how we were going to signage it, on how putting them in and so on. So I'm all for this. I mean, I tried a couple times for not in this way, but I'm all for these kids to go out there and use our canals. I've used them all my life and fished in them, swam in them. Of course, it's taboo to swim in them now, but we did when they were a lot dirtier than they are now. They've done a good job cleaning them up, but anything to get these young men and women out on the boat and fish and just enjoy wildlife, it's fine with me. So
I think it would be incumbent on the administration to establish some rules of engagement as far as hours of opening and closing, that kind
well,
of thing.
I think
that would come down the road, though,
as
right?
I discussed earlier in the thing is to go to the ramps. You know, Miami-Dade County has ramps in Crandon Park where they launch boats.
Mm-hmm.
They have all the boats that are launched out of 27, and they have in Holiday Park. They have all the signage there that can be copied and put into the aspects of what we need here, so that we don't have the same fight I had last time on just the fact of how we were going to how we are going to at least get a sign up. I mean, that was a big problem the last time, was
Yeah.
just getting the damn sign up.
yeah.
So,
Oh.
as far as I'm concerned, that's what we need to do, and let's try it. Let's go for it.
Yeah, well, why don't we add to this measure that we include the electric motors and take it right up from the beginning?
Well, if you want to put it in motion, if it's applicable, I don't want it to stop the push to do this.
Well,
but-
if that were to stop it, then just back off.
That's
on
what
it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
might
bring
be,
it now, though.
no wake.
Yeah, but
Motors
you're
that don't
not,
cause a wake.
No,
Would
you
that-
don't want to get
no?
don't
Okay.
just no. But
Okay.
let's not get too complicated.
Okay.
Just electric motor. You get
Um,
into wake, you can make wake. Then you get into a definition of what's a
Well,
wake.
I think what you're using, I know when years ago, I used to see people launch there with their little boat, a skiff, I guess, and a little motor, I don't
Yeah.
know, 7 horsepower,
Yeah.
very tiny, and they would head out to the Everglades to go fishing.
Sure.
That wasn't that long ago, and we're really blessed that our whole northern border of Miami Springs is the Miami River.
That's right.
If you go east, we go into the bay, except for Highlight. And if you go west or northwest, you hit the Everglades. I mean, it's just an amazing resource.
You also have the canals that finger off of it that go back go back underneath 36th Street that take you back. And we used to call that the second canal. And there's a lot of nice bass fishing back there. And then you go on up and you get into another where you can get into Five Finger Lakes. I don't know if that's passage now, but you can get there. But Councilwoman, I don't know what their standard is as far as in the law. It used to be if you had a 9.9 or under, you didn't need numbers on your boat. So it's 6 horsepower, you didn't need numbers on your boat. I don't know what the laws are now, but I don't know what they consider anymore, wake or what, although they'll allow tugboats and 80-foot boats go down the Miami River up the other end,
Yeah, for a cost.
Yeah, but down here it's like taboo. But this all started from the jet skis that got in there and ruined it for all the fishermen and power boats. That's how it ended up, and there were a few accidents with the jet skis, so the county blocked it off. Even the Medley ramp is blocked off too. The Medley ramp up there, I don't know what road it. So it's always this seems to be a deterrent to young people. The way we grow up, there's never an answer, always a deterrent. And the kids that put on the fishing tournament at the River Cities, that goes back to when my dad was alive, when Aquarius Rods and Reels used to run it for years and years, and they brought it back this year and it turned out to be really good. So I'm for it. Let's vote on it.
Yeah, I think
I'll call a vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes. Fantastic. Anything from the two attorneys? The firm
Attorneys,
of Espino.
yeah. The two attorneys.
Dan,
Don't spread that rumor around.
The two
I'll be getting a
attorneys.
call tomorrow morning. No, Mayor and Council.
do we have Heidi go first or you?
Danny.
Huh? Who's first? Flip a coin? Okay. We got the city manager. Anything from you?
Yes, Mayor and Council. We've been in contact with Mrs. Cavalier in reference to the inauguration of the Cavalier clock. It looks like we wanted to do it the weekend of Mother's Day, which is May 11th, either that Friday or the Saturday or Monday. But she wants her family to fly down, and I believe her son cannot make it Friday or Saturday. So the date that we have in mind is Monday, May 14th, which is the day of our council meeting. But if we could schedule this maybe at 5 o'clock or 5:30, and then from there come to the council meeting, we
On
could
that
do
day.
it on that day.
That's fine with me. I think it's better.
I'm
It's
okay.
better for me to do it on than
Yes.
because
A separate day.
Our fishing tournaments are coming up. I don't know what weekends are scheduled.
Are free.
But yeah, fantastic for
Jim,
me.
you good with that? With school and stuff? Are you good with that? 5 o'clock next
yes,
on May
5 o'clock
14th?
sounds- Yep.
Mara?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You wanna? You can I ask the questions around here?
Sure.
All right, so it's 5
Just
o'clock
help.
Monday.
5 o'clock, Monday, May 14th.
May 14th. Fantastic. Very good. Anything else from the?
I believe Tammy has
Put
some
that mic by you,
upcoming
Tammy.
events for you.
Yes, April 30th
Put the mic
is
by you. So put the mic.
April 30th is All Things Green. They got 3 topics of discussion: the challenges of Tree City, USA, Fairchild's Tropical Gardens innovation, and in the importance of bees. That's at 6:30 at the Women's Club.
The importance of what?
Bees.
Importance of bees. And then on May 5th is the Miami Springs board game at noon at the community center. That's it.
That's all we have going?
That's it.
Wow.
It's a lot. Enough.
We go to Councilman Petrolongo, you're first.
Just want to thank Tom for a great event over the weekend. No rain. A little bit towards the end. A great job. I think everything went well. That's all I have, man.
Councilman Vest?
Just one thing. I was approached recently, I say recently, about a week and a half ago. As everybody's aware, or if not, I'll tell you, the Miami Springs, the varsity baseball team, they're 17-5 this year. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. They're having a heck of a season. They're in the districts, the playoffs, and I received a call the other night that they asked me on May 1st, the first day of the district games, which is a Tuesday, if I would announce the 2 games at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock at Dove Field, at Shelley Dunkel Field, and I told them I'd be honored to. So.
Who's going to be your play-by-play?
I haven't seen the bracketry yet of the tournament, but
who's going to do the play-by-play? You're doing the announcement. Who's going to be the color man?
Well, I don't know if the radio's covering it. I don't know if they're doing that, but I guess you got to try and do a little bit. I went to watch the FIU guy on Wednesday this past week do a game, the last home game they had, and he had there was a sound system out there, and he was punching buttons for stuff going on in between what he was talking about. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but we'll figure something out. It's a challenge, and I look forward to it.
Okay.
And good luck to the Springs.
I mean, I was thinking if you needed a guy on the.
You want to?
Maybe if you need.
All right, well, we'll talk.
Okay. Jeez, can't get it.
Drives a hard bargain.
Boy, it's a hard time to get. Wow, without even trying to ask, I gotta still ask.
Well, no, you're still
That'd be
at.
a lot of fun.
It will be. We would have a hoot.
Oh, I guess I agree. How good I am announcing names.
I'll do that. You can do the color.
Councilman Mitchell. Councilwoman Mitchell.
I wanted to, first of all, to thank the city, but in particular, I think Tammy Key and Anna Hume for the art in the City Hall tonight with the school, with our local school children artist. I thought that was just a really, just made City Hall so lively tonight, and their paintings are fun. They make you smile. So it's nice to see young artists acknowledged there. The other thing is, in remembrance of Earth Day, which is right this month, we did the bird walk. Paul Bithorn did a bird walk for us on Miami Springs, Curtis Parkway, Saturday, and there were almost like 30 people who showed up. It was just really fun. He's such a knowledgeable person about nature that's all around us, so I wanted to thank him for that. And like Tammy said, the Women's Club Conservation Program, All Things Green, is going to be this Monday at 6:30, I believe, at the Women's Club. Everyone is invited, and we have the 3 guest speakers, the flyers on our website. And the last thing I wanted to mention is I wanted to thank Tom for River Cities, you and all your team, and everyone in the community who attended and participated and did so much. It was just a really fun event, and just to let you know how these things connect the dots, on Saturday when I was driving home from the bird walk along the canal, I saw a family of the parents and 4 kids fishing along the canal banks over here by the dog park. And so I got out just to say hi, and and ask them if I could take their photo. And they said that they had gotten the idea from the fishing tournament at River Cities. The dad said he would have never thought to fish in our canals if he hadn't been at the fishing tournament with his kids and they got all excited about fishing. So it's just wonderful how you never know, one little thing, you know, encourages others to get involved and to enjoy something that they hadn't before. So thank you for that.
Mayor.
Councilwoman Zapata? Vice Mayor Zapata? Boy.
So just a few things. River Cities was awesome. And I want to thank Maria for that bird walk thing that she put together with Bithorn. And I missed it, but I want you to know that that afternoon I was at Home Depot and ran into residents from Miami Springs there who asked me why I wasn't there and said what a great time they had had. We also did the ribbon cutting for Enzo for the Wellness Center, and that was, you know, it's just all these things are just a reminder of the kind of community that we live in, where we really, on Friday when we get home from work, if we never want to leave outside of Miami Springs, we don't have to. Everything is here, and not too many people live in a community like that, so.
Can I have this?
Sure.
Just real quick,
Yeah,
real quick.
Sure. I'm going first next time.
All right, you can't go first. All right. Anyway, I just, not to be belabor, but we received a blurb up here, all of us, I think, and most of the staff. It came to us from there, actually. There was an incident, and it reminded me of Councilman Mitchell bringing up Tammy Key and Anna Hume. There was a piece that we received about a situation where they were going to lunch or going to work one day recently, the two of them, and they were driving down Westward Drive, I think it was, and they happened to see somebody that was like aimlessly ambling about, and they thought it was odd, so they reported to the police department. They pulled the guy over for surveillance and found out he was wanted, and he was duly arrested. Good looking out by those two. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. One thing in this mayorship this time around, I'm learning a lot about different people on how they think and live, you know. And I'm a lot old school, you know. I grew up different, but the yoga the other night when we went there and did the cutting, their lifestyle is totally different than what I'm used to doing. I accept it. I mean, I'm open to it and understand it, but the different kind of foods that they eat and everything like that, and I thought that the food was so nice that there should have been a lot more birds in Miami Springs to eat that food that they serve there. I mean, it's different, but they were very cordial, very nice. They treated me good, even now I am, but we had a great time, and the River Cities, I want to say that the Optimist Club sold everything out. It was the first time that I can remember that sold everything out. But I make a challenge to the police department. I make a challenge to the fire department here in Miami Springs and the community to come up with and help support that chili cook-off. I mean, we only had...
There was 4 entries.
There were only 4 entrants. And, you know, that's not enough when you're a judge to only eat 4 spoons of chili. You got to have at least 10 or so. So I think we ought to participate in that. Get a couple of your guys. I mean, some of them look like they eat pretty good, Chief. They can make us some nice chili, huh?
Eat if you want us to cook.
Well, I know that. What I'm trying to say is, I know that it's going to be good. They're going to make a good chili, you know. It's going to be good. But everything, I appreciate this, and I thank you for the boat ramp. I hope it goes through, and we get it. And this meeting's adjourned.
Nice job, Mayor.
Yeah, but well, her father-in-law's dying.